Happy Monday, everybody. This is your girl, Crystal Jordan with Reality Check here on Rolling Out. I hope you guys tuned in this morning for our morning rollout. It was so much fun with the entire team. We had president of the Urban League on talking about everything that's going on here and how our communities, leadership in our communities is rising up, and we need to definitely support them. I hope everyone is doing a great job at keeping your mental health in check as we all deal with what's going on. But today, I'm going to talk with another artist that I think has something positive to say. I absolutely love her spirit, and I think it's going to be a fun conversation. I have as my guest for today, Evvie McKinney. She is the winner of the 4, was the Big Fox Challenge that had Diddy and DJ Khaled and Megan Trainor, one of my favorites on. So we're going to welcome her this morning to Reality Check. Let's get Evvie on board. Hey, girl.
Hey, it's so funny you call me Evvie. I get it all the time.
So what's the actual correct pronunciation of your name?
Evvie.
Evvie.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry. I started to ask your publicist and I was like, well, it looks like Evvie, so it's Evvie.
Yes, ma'am.
My apologies.
Yes, ma'am. That's all right.
Well, it's a unique name for a unique star.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that people will not forget it.
Yes, yes.
So talk to us about your experience on the 4. What a huge show with huge, bigger than life superstar guests. What was your experience, when you first started the show, knowing that you're going to be on there with someone like Diddy that, is like it's been a national superstar for so many years?
Being on the 4, I'll just start by saying, first of all, was a blessing and a miracle. Of my life. I was at the age of 20 when I got on the 4, and it was literally the first moment where I had ever been on national television, and I was in front of such amazing, talented, like the best in the business. It literally was a moment where I was standing in a place and I said, wow, God really made my dreams come true.
Yeah.
It was, and a lot of people say, sometimes it doesn't take, it overnight for things like that to happen. Well, I don't believe in luck. I believe in Jesus. And it was overnight for me. It was overnight for me. I mean, before the 4, I was on tour. I was always the youngest on my tours, singing backup, singing with choirs, and I would tour the world. That's how I made my money. That was my music is my livelihood. So that's how I make my money. That's my only job.
Okay.
But man, being on the 4 was a blessing. It was exciting.
Yeah.
It was at the same time nerve-wracking because I was like, Lord, am I even gonna win this show? Could I win this show?
Yeah.
And I did, by the grace of God.
You did.
Yeah.
You really you went over judges that have been working in the business for so long. Is there anything in particular that you took from each judge that you can share with us? Maybe. Absolutely.
I'll start with Diddy. I remember asking him when I first got my seat, and it was a break within recording of the show, and I asked him, I said, is there any advice, anything you want to give me, tell me for the finale episode, because the finale was coming up.
Okay.
And he said, do not get comfortable. And from that moment, he told me that before the last episode of that show, and I've taken that piece of advice with me everywhere I go, every studio session I'm in, every interview that I'm in. I tell myself, you cannot get comfortable, because somebody out there is most definitely working a lot harder, or some people out there are in the most, it's like a tribulation or a trial, and some people in this life, they have it a lot harder. They're in much more harder positions and circumstances than we are. We are really blessed. So I've taken that piece of advice and I've said, you know what? I'm not getting comfortable. As a matter of fact, every time I feel like fear is arising in me, I call on the name of Jesus. Praying, I'm asking my family to pray with me, pray for me. Then I read scriptures to help encourage me, so that I do not stay comfortable, because this is just not the time to be comfortable. This is the time to be uncomfortable, because change is uncomfortable. Change is really uncomfortable, but God is with us every step of the way. And that is what makes every uncomfortable situation, every uncomfortable circumstance amazing. And yeah.
I got to tell you, before you talk to us about Megan and DJ Khaled, I want to thank you for saying that, because I think that's a word that people need to hear right now. We're as a country going through change. It's uncomfortable, but very necessary, right? And we see that people, I've been so encouraged just seeing so many artists, celebrities, people of influence, lending their voice to this and echoing what you said. This is change. We need change.
Yes.
We must have change. And we know that God is with us the entire way through.
Amen. From Megan, Megan is literally like the best friend I never had. Despite the fact that, man, it's so crazy now that I talk about her. Before I was even on the 4, 2 years before I was on the 4, she came out with an album. It was called Love Myself. I bumped that album on every one of my tours. And I saw that, like, now I see it as God, he was preparing me years and years and years in advance for a relationship that was gonna happen in my life in 2018.
Yeah.
But Megan is so sweet. We've spent a lot of time on the phone just talking. She's telling me about her experiences in the music industry, and she's giving me advice. Megan is not that much older than me, so we are just the best of friends. I still talk to her. She just texted me the other day, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, the single sounds absolutely amazing. The lyric video is amazing." I'm trying to see Megan. I'm trying to think of a piece of advice she's given me before. She's taught me a lot.
Maybe just what you saw from her example, you know, being around her.
Empowerment. I've seen young female empowerment from her. You're talking about a young pop superstar that has written songs for Disney movies, like complete soundtracks for Disney movies, and she has endorsements with Target, and you know, it's so much going on, and she's still in her 20s. So it's inspiring to even have a friend like that I was listening to before I even met her. To have a friend like that believes, like, girl, you are amazing. I remember the first time I went to her house, and I was like, man, I want a house like this. And she told me, she said, girl, don't worry about it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. Megan is somebody I have never, ever had any ill feelings from her. She is so sweet. So sweet and so in love with her craft. And I love people who are in love with what they do.
Absolutely. I think that's another thing I want to make a mention of. I think music is that place where color, culture, race, gender, everything kind of disappears. So when you have that type of connection with someone that's not the same race as you, but you guys are able to find that connection, I think music definitely heals, and it's something that, you know, definitely crosses those barriers. You think so?
Absolutely. Music is not just a language. It is a spiritual language. You know, music can make you feel good. It can make you feel sad. Music can make you be mad at somebody ready to fight, or music can make you say, man, I need to go back and apologize to that person, or I need to forgive that person. It's a lot of music out here. You know, it's really sad to say, but it's a lot of music out here with no message and no substance. You know, it's a lot of music out here. You listen to it and it doesn't make you feel any type of way. There's a lot of music out here, though, that really convicts your spirit, and it really makes you feel some type of way. And that's the reason why I had to pray consistently. The word says pray without ceasing. When you want something, don't stop praying for it. You don't go down on your knees, or you in your car. You could be wherever you want to be praying. God still hears you, but you don't pray and say, well, that's it. That's the only prayer I'm gonna say. And if you don't give it to me, then I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Right. You know, sometimes You have to consistently pray for something. As a matter of fact, God will put you in situations to make you consistently pray for it.
Yes.
Before, when I was signed to Republic Records, which was absolutely amazing, I knew in my heart, I didn't know how God was going to do it for me, but I knew in my heart that I wanted to openly sing about Christ. I wanted to openly sing about the good news, have a good message to inspire people. Whether you believe them or not, just listen to my testimony, and maybe that can inspire you to at least consider God. At least, you know. But music it's a healer, and that's what we need right now. The kids in my generation, especially, they listen to so much music, so many curse words about money, sex, and drugs, and it's like, they think that that's the way to go. They think that's the way to go, but it's not. You don't have to take off your clothes to be successful. You don't have to sell your soul to be with a label that loves God. You just have to trust in God and keep praying. And when you do that, that music, people will feel it.
People will feel it. Well, we are definitely feeling. You guys are listening to the wisdom of Evvie McKinney. She's beyond a great vocalist. She's also got a lot of wisdom and that conviction. I love hearing that, especially in young people. So let's talk about this single, because I got to tell you, when I love the fact that you're repping the shirt. Yes, ma'am. So the single, I'm gonna bring the whole hood, right? Yes. When you guys listen to it, usually when artists do their first single, it tells you a little bit about that artist. You listen to this single, you know exactly who Evvie McKinney is.
Yes.
Okay. It's a beautiful autobiographical account of your spirit, your past. And I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that. I think my favorite part of the single, you telling your mama how.
Yes.
And you got your music from your father. Talk about it. It does a great job of showing people who you are, that humble girl, baby of 7 kids. Tennessee is all there in the song. So did you and Megan write this together? How did this come on the record?
We sure did. In April of 2018, we went into the studio and she told me, this is exactly how the session started. Megan asked me, she said, what do you want to write about? I said, Megan, I want a song where after the listener is done listening to the song, they know everything about me, where I came from.
Well, we do.
Thank the Lord. I told her that I wanted an autobiographical song. I told her that. And I most definitely told her, Megan, you know I'm country. You know I'm from Memphis. I rep Memphis everywhere I go. Even in my voice, people say, you are so country, where you from? I'm like, Memphis. I rep Memphis everywhere I go. So I knew for a fact I had to put my city on the map, because I love my city. I mean, my city has the best barbecue. It has the best soul food. Tina Turner lived a couple miles outside of Memphis. Aretha Franklin was born in Memphis. Isaac Hayes, Otis Redding, Elvis Presley
from Memphis. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
But I wanted to write a song that was authentic to me. You know, and I think that's important for an artist, because when you start losing who you are in your music, and then people just start telling you what to do, you're not even an artist no more. You're who they created you to be.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm not gonna do is be somebody that's somebody else. If you're not God, you can't tell me who to be. You can't tell me how to tell my testimony. You can't tell me how to tell my story. I tell what God wants me to tell, and I want to be who God wants me to be. So that's how we came up with Bring the Whole Hood. Hood, of course, is short for neighborhood.
Yeah.
I know some people, they say, well, hood, when you live in a hood, they associate that with violence. They associate it with negativity. Well, the hood I came from was full of love. You know, it was full of people that loved God. It was full of good cooking, good smelling cooking. Okay. It was full of my whole neighborhood. They knew all seven of us. You know, I had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. We loved each other like family. And that's why I said I'm gonna bring the whole hood with me when I make it, because I will never forget where I came from. If it wasn't for my hood, You know, if it wasn't for the people that I grew up with outside of my family that was saying, girl, you're going to be a superstar. Oh,
Yeah.
can you sing at my birthday party? Can you do this? I'm going to give you a little something. Can you do this? Those people believed in me.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, when I make it, I'm going to bring the whole
hood. Well, again, that's another lesson for us today. I think that we got to get ourselves to a place where we're successful, but it's important to go back and bring people with you. It's important to go back and mentor little girls and little boys that were you before you made it. So I took the song as you definitely speaking about your hood, but also a message to other people. Like, it's important for you to make it, but God wants you to make it so you can help other people.
That's exactly. That's what a blessing is. A blessing is not just for you. Like, my gift of singing is not just for me. What sense would that make? You know, it's for everybody. That the reason why God put us on the planet with billions of people is because we all have a gift from him where we can help other people. And that's the beauty in it. But that's also the problem today, because don't nobody want to help nobody no more. People are trying to put out a fire with fire. They're trying to, you know, not love, but hate. But still in the name of peace. You can't do that. You have to do it with love. You have to do it with love. Love is the only thing, even where we are right now, you know, with all the riots and, you know, the protests and stuff. It's a good thing that you're protesting, but how are you doing it? Are you destroying your community? Your hood? Are you destroying your hood, or are you bringing your hood with you in the name of love? Right. That's how you get things done.
What would you say to people that felt that may not, because there are a lot of people that aren't as enlightened, or maybe they've just gone through a frustrating point in life and don't feel that they're able to respond in love. Sometimes some of the images that we've seen, it is difficult to respond in love. What advice would you give for people experiencing that right now?
For people who are experiencing that rage and that anger, and that's the only way they can channel it, I would tell them, and I am so serious, I would tell them, hold on. Before you do anything, hold on. Think about what you're going to do. Think about it. How is it going to benefit you? How is it going to benefit the next person? Is it going to help you? Think about that. Don't just do something because you're angry. Right. I mean, we all have moments where we're angry. But sometimes in that moment when it arises in you, because it is the enemy. We know anger does not come from God. That comes from the enemy. So the enemy don't want you to do what's good anyway. Right. I mean, just being real. He don't want you to do what's good anyway. But when that arises in you, stop. You don't even have to believe in Jesus. You don't have to believe in eternal life. Stop and say, man, what am I going to get out of this? What am I going to get out of this? And some people may feel like busting somebody's window, blowing up somebody's car feels good. But in reality, we know that it doesn't. Because after you do that, you want to do it again. As a matter of fact, you want to tell other people to come and do it with you.
And that's a resolution or growth or anything like that. You know, there's a verse in the Bible that says, "Be angry and sin not." So I don't. It's not bad to be angry. It's not wrong to be angry. But as you said, we have to take a moment and think and process that so that we're moving forward in a positive direction. And I can admit that can be difficult. But I think if we have more young people like you out with your message talking, I think that is definitely the answer to the issue. We got to have more positivity and less negativity. Let's get back to your music. So the single is out, the video is out. You guys definitely have to check out the video. I love that you have the video is a montage, a celebration of your family, adoring you when you were a little girl. What was it like growing up? Tell us a little bit more about your experience growing up in Memphis, Tennessee.
Growing up in Memphis, I would say my whole childhood was a lot of hand clapping, sitting and listening to the preacher talk, taking notes and singing in the choir. It was a lot of church. It was a lot of performing. When I was little, I would perform I feel like at all the churches in Memphis. I was with a group called the Young Actors Guild, and the group, we just went around and we sang all the time, just at different churches. We did different shows and performances. You know, growing up, it was really fun. it was really fun because, and I'm gonna say it was fun because since I was a little girl, I grew up in a faith-based household. You know, you don't do anything without God knowing. Like you just don't. And so I used to be the little girl where I would say, Lord, I want to be a superstar.
Yeah.
Lord, I want a big house. I want this. I want that. Lord, I want to do positive music. Lord, I want to be like that. Lord, I don't want to be like that. So it was really fun to have that relationship when I was younger, because now, and I'm 22 now, and I'm just like, man, God has literally been with me every step of the way. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I know you were that young. That's even more admirable to be that young and on fire. What do you think about taking your beliefs and who you are into an industry that often, as you already know, does not celebrate the same type of values, often doesn't celebrate women that aren't willing to compromise themselves. How have you prepared yourself to be in this industry, but not a part of some of the things that are negative about the industry?
Right. Well, I'll say this. I lived in Hollywood. I lived in Burbank, California, which was like 15, 20 minutes away from Hollywood, but I worked a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'll say this, honey. If it weren't for the goodness and the protection and the provision of God, I don't know where I would be, what I would be singing, what I would be wearing. Yeah. And see, of course, people, they like to tell you, the negative things about the industry. But when you have a relationship with God, you don't really see a lot of things that go on in that demonic, whatever they say goes on. You don't really, because God loves you so much, he wouldn't even let you, exactly. He wouldn't even let you be a part of it. So, I mean, I've had some instances where I probably went to like some celebrity parties and, people would kind of be laid out or something like that. And young people, young, beautiful people, then they just laid out, you know. But, I mean, it's Hollywood. Like, it happens. I walked on out the door, got in the car and went home. But I think it's important that people know that if you want to be in the entertainment business, and if you do have God, it's a lot of things you won't have to worry about. Like the most you're going to have to worry about is meeting people who may not believe like you do. So they see things in a different way.
Right.
You have to respect that, and hope that, from your life and from the fruits that you bear in your tree, that they see that and it inspires them. But if you don't have a relationship with God, it's going to be a lot more easier for the devil to take advantage of you.
Right. Yeah, infiltrate. And I think what's beautiful about you is you have a solid understanding of who you are. And I think that's good in any industry, to know who you are before you go into something. So when people come at you, you already, that's not me. That's not who I am. I don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they respect that.
Yes,
they respect that.
People do respect that. But we just want to congratulate you guys. Like I said, the song is, I don't want to call it adorable because she's a grown woman. She's grown. But the song is a great song. You have a beautiful voice. It's soulful. It's very commercial, which is rare for someone to have that type of soulfulness and yet, be able to sing with that tone. You have an absolutely beautiful gift.
Thank you.
We know that you're going to continue to use it for God's glory.
Yes.
We just tell people how they can follow you, how they can hear more of your music and keep up with what you have going on.
Yes, y'all follow me on all of my social media at Evvie, EVVIE _music. Follow me on my Facebook at Evvie Music LLC. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. My lyric video is doing absolutely amazing. Yes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at Evvie _music. On all platforms, my song is being played and it's being added to some playlists. I'm so excited. And y'all, if it was anybody young that was watching this or will watch it in the future, I want to tell you that
and that would be the time when the computer froze. You guys know that was the devil. That was the absolute devil. She had a message and the computer froze. Well, I want to thank you guys for tuning.
Oh,
It froze. Okay, start again. What's your message to young people out there?
oh, I was gonna say, whatever it is that you want to do it. Go for it. Just because it looks impossible does not mean nothing. It's supposed to look impossible. That's the reason why you have a God that wants to lead you and guide you through all of the trenches, all of the mountains and the valleys, and he will. I'm a living testament. I didn't have to compromise myself. God just made a way out of no way. You know, I'm now signed to Motown Gospel and Capital Christian Music Group, a dual deal. Tell me God don't do it. He made a whole show and I won the first season. Tell me God don't do it. Yeah. Yes, he will, and he is capable. So get your relationship with God right so that you can really be successful. I mean, people are successful without God. Doesn't quite last, you know, but you know, when you have God, you have a warrior, the warrior fighting on behalf of you. And remember that the devil don't want you to go to heaven. He don't want you to be successful. He don't want you to be happy. He wants you to be mad, angry, blowing up people's cars and feeling bad about yourself. But when you are in touch with God, impossible things are made possible. God bless you.
I love it. On that note, I think that's it. I think Evvie McKinney gave us the word for the day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you listened with your heart to her words. I hope you will definitely go and download her single. I'm going to bring the whole hood on all platforms. Thank you so much, Evvie.
Thank you, Crystal. God bless you. Have a blessed day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.